That's deep. Yes.
Better looking in 10 years. So you're
I would think so.
So 35, you're going to be better looking at 45.
I think so.
What about in 20 years? 55 versus 35.
Yeah, if you got money, you can look good forever. Get a little Botox, get a little this, a little that. Hey, that's my opinion.
So better looking at 55 as compared to now.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of like older. Yeah, I think so.
Were you better looking?
Better looking.
Yeah.
Hopefully, hopefully around the same.
The same. You think you'll look the same at 55 as you do now? Okay.
Yeah, just a couple of gray hairs, little wrinkles. You know.
Yeah. Do you think
the tats cover up a lot of like the age? You know, if I get wrinkles, I'll just tattoo it. You know.
Do you think you were? Do you think you were better looking at 25 than you are now?
No.
So you're better looking now than you were 10 years ago at 25?
I think so.
Okay. All right. What about you?
Yeah, you know my answer.
Well, there's new people.
I guess so, but
okay,
yeah.
so you'll be better looking at 35 than you are now at 25?
Yes.
45?
Yes.
55?
Yes.
Okay. What about
I don't think I'm going to look better than I do now.
Okay, so you're 30.
I'm 30.
Okay. Were you better looking at 20 than you are now at 30?
At 20, hell no. I look way better than I did at 20.
Okay. What about you? You are 24. Will you be better looking at 34 than you are now?
Subjectively, I think women look better in their 30s. Subjectively, I think women look better in their 30s.
Subjectively, you think women look better in their... So then you'll look better in your 30s then?
I think so. I think they look more sophisticated, and it's like about their demeanor and way of being.
Okay, what
that-
about 44? You're 24
I don't
now.
know. I think it depends
Hold
on
on.
the person.
Johns_Myth donated $200. What do you call a lesbian on fire? LGBTQ.
Okay.
Also, what do you call 9 cows in a room with Brian's fat biteable dumpty dum? Oh wait, it's this podcast. Show me them titties, Brian. Yum yum sir #bo.
Okay, thank you, John's
Are you going to
myth.
show him the titties? He really wants
He
it.
wants to see your titties.
He sent you a lot of money. Come on.
200.
I'm good.
Yeah, for Brian.
I'm good.
Show your
You're-
fans.
If you,
Show 'em
I
the
need a
nips.
Bitcoin. You gotta send me a Bitcoin if you want
All
that.
right,
Okay.
you're thinking now, yeah.
Yeah. What about
Challenge
you?
has been put out there.
I thought that was at
Oh, so 44?
44.
Will you be better looking at 44 than you are now at 24?
I'm unsure.
You're not sure?
I would say 30s. I would.
Yeah, we already.
No, I
yeah.
said cap. I don't know. Maybe it would just maintain that
You just made
This is what
10,
I hear.
10
until
years.
44.
So from
So
30,
difficult, dude.
so from 34 to 44, there will be no perceptible changes in your looks.
Yeah, probably. Of course, there would be, but
Okay.
maybe on a tracked scale, it would stay the
Yeah.
same.
What about 54?
Probably not. I would
Okay.
reasonably say it would change in some form or another in society's eyes.
In societies, okay.
Yeah,
all
because
right.
they perceive older women as, for some reason, less beautiful.
Why doesn't that apply to
Benjamin's
44 then?
It's about how you take care of yourself, but yeah.
Like that. It's how you take care of yourself at 44. You never know. You could be more attractive at
So do you
44.
think you would look
hold on.
better at...
Let me change the question then. So the framing here is all else being equal. So people will say, well, I was an alcoholic, drug addict, and morbidly obese at 20, but at 30, I ate healthy, I didn't do drugs, I never drank, I got
Correct.
8 hours of sleep, and I was 13% body fat or whatever healthy body fat percentage is. The question really is, if all else being equal, if you possessed all those things at age 20 as compared to age 30,
Well, 30, like I said, I think there's a sophistication level to that. I think.
yeah, but I'm talking about looks.
No, but even in
Well,
looks.
what he's
even in
asking, hang on,
looks.
what he's asking specifically, I just want to make sure that this is totally clear. When he says all else equal, what he's saying is, all the surgery that you have, whatever
I don't
you
have
have,
any surgery
all
at
the
all.
filler, hang on, all the fillers you have, whatever you have, and I'm not accusing anybody of having it or not having it, but whatever those things are, whatever your beauty regimen currently is, however it is that you're taking care of yourself now versus you at 20, that's what all else equal is. That means whatever you're doing now, if it was being done at 20, would you have been prettier at 20 than you are now?
Personally, at 20 to now,
She's 24, so
I'm 24.
so 34 to 24.
I would say
24 years.
I would say equal or more, like because I like I said, there's a maturity in your appearance, not just your way of being, your appearance itself.
Yeah, but wouldn't that, if maturity was a factor in terms of determining physical attractiveness, wouldn't then people who are 55, 65, 75,
I
wouldn't
think
they
it's
be the
different
most
from
physically
looking
attractive?
like. Well, I think it's different from when I was 20 years old. I had a baby face and I looked like people thought I was like 15. So I think there's a difference, like the way that people grow into their bodies.
So you
is-
no longer have a baby face?
Maybe, I don't know.
So what's going to change? So you're 24, but you said you'll be more physically attractive at 34. What? It's not
for
going to be a baby
example-
face if
well,
you've already
for ex-
lost it.
No, for example, it's like if you have, on a society's perspective, like fat in your cheeks or whatever, the older you get, the more your jaw the fat slims out of your cheeks, the more your nose becomes pronounced, the way that is defined, the way your face looks is completely different. Jaw structure, bone structure, cheek structure is
Okay.
different.
Can I ask a question? Is it also about the experience that you gain from that point to
Yeah.
34 that makes you hold yourself physically in a different
exactly.
demeanor?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say in
The
the beginning, but then
experience?
Yeah, the experience that you have from 24 to 34, life experience, makes you hold yourself different
You
when
mean
you're
like
walking
more
through life.
bodies?
No.
Not bodies. I'm
Life
talking about
experience.
life experience. I'm
Yes.
talking about tragedies and the ups and the downs
So
of
trauma
life.
Wisdom.
and baggage?
No,
No,
I'm not
wisdom.
talking
Yeah.
stress.
Wisdom, Brian.
Why are you going so negative?
Yeah.
That's what life experience is. It doesn't.
No, it's
I'm
not.
so sorry that has been your life experience.
That's not what I
but-
said.
Okay, hang on.
but you're-
I'm actually willing to engage in this because I'm curious about this myself. When you say life experience, absent baggage, what the fuck does that mean?
I'm talking
I actually
about
do want to know.
wins, times that you have been very accomplished, like times that make you feel
Isn't
worthy.
accomplishment usually in the face of adversity? Isn't that what we consider accomplishments?
I
For
mean,
instance,
yeah.
if for instance you beat somebody in the race because you trained really hard, or you were facing some type of adversity to yourself, you overcame it. That's the W. How does that not come with baggage? How does that not come
You're
with
right,
making
you're right.
enemies?
Most
How does that not come with sexual partners? How does that not come with that?
So with the first part, I agree. The sexual partner part, I think it's different. But I'm gonna talk about the first part right before you said sexual partner part. Okay. So in regards to that, I would say, like you said, the accomplishment comes with baggage, right?
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying there, 100%. But when you are older, you're able to, I'm going to throw a term out here, you're probably not going to like it, alchemize that, turn that darkness into light within yourself.
I mean, I don't mind you using the term,
Okay.
but I'm not sure in the context that you're using it. I know what it
I'm
means. Can
using
you
it as-
just really quickly define alchemize for me?
So, and I'm using it in the spiritual sense.
Yeah, what is it? What does it mean?
Turning one thing into another. Like
Okay.
turning iron into gold, like something like that. So turning your
Yeah.
darkness,
Which is
your
what alchemy
baggage-
was, is the ability to turn non-precious metals into precious metals.
Exactly,
but anyway, go ahead.
Exactly. So turning your perceived baggage into a lighter part of yourself. So the older you get, doesn't mean you have baggage. Yeah, you might have had traumatic experience, but that doesn't mean you have trauma.
Wait, hold
Now, let me give you a very quick counter. You do realize when you use the term alchemize, and I love the fact that you use that term. Has anybody ever successfully
Oh, I have
been
this.
able to turn, hang on, has anybody ever successfully been able to turn non-precious metals into gold?
I love this because I had
Answer
this
the question,
I
have
just said
they?
no because I had this conversation with my
so
boyfriend.
why should I
and it's really
believe
funny.
that you can alchemize
No,
your
no.
trauma and your baggage into something good when the very
Andrew.
definition of the word that you're using is the transmutation of non-precious metals into gold, which has never been done? Man, you really did yourself in on that one.
Andrew, no, Andrew, that is not. I'm using it in the spiritual context. I am not using it in the physical, and you know that.
Yeah, I mean,
You
but
know
even in the
that.
spiritual, it would be the same,
Hey.
right? In the spirit, even in the spiritual context, nobody's ever spiritually
What do you
been
mean?
able to take any, in this case, let's say a precious emotion. Let's just say a precious emotion, and turn that emotion into something else without some baggage from it. How does that even work?
No, I got what you're saying in the beginning, but at the end you lost me. I'm sorry.
Well,
can do
okay,
it
so
in art.
if you have an emotion and you turn it into a different emotion, how does that
Yes.
come with no baggage?
No,
Even the
because-
process of doing that is going to be adversity, right?
No, because that's like healing a part of yourself. It would be healing that part of yourself, the baggage that is there, right?
So
healing
something
that.
needed to be healed?
Not necessarily, but if it's
Well, then how are you healing a part of yourself?
so here's
What do you
the thing.
mean?
Because then you could. The reason why it's overlapping like this is because I'm trying to explain multiple like spiritual knowings into one, where you could go into like the deepest one and be like, oh yeah, everything is perfect. There is no need to be healed. You're perfect.
Look, I
just way
love
you
the
are.
esoteric.
But
The-
then,
I mean,
but then
the
if you go
esoteric
back
is a lot
to
of
what we
fun
were
for me to
saying before
discuss.
and healing yourself in this context, turn your baggage into light.
Yes.
You
Can I say
can.
something to that too?
Hold
Yeah.
on. I got to get this back on the fucking rails.
All right.
I got to get this back on the rails. This had to do with looks, and she was saying that by going through experiences and trauma, that this would somehow manifest
No, that's
itself
what you were
in you
saying.
carrying
You brought
yourself.
up the baggage.
in a
You were
different
the one who
way.
literally
Trauma
brought
and the
that up.
baggage. I didn't say
You
that.
No,
said
but
put it all in
you
the bag.
brought no. One of you brought up. Well, as you get older, you get more experiences,
Oh, yeah,
and then you
that.
carry yourself differently.
Yeah.
Ergo, your physical outward appearance
Yes.
Yeah.
is somehow improved
Yeah.
through your experiences, which would also include your trauma and baggage, as well as your
Yes.
good experiences where you're going to fucking Cancun or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
people do for your good experiences. I don't know. Articulate to me how even your good experiences will make you look better.
It's the way you carry yourself. That's the
I
only way
feel
you can
like
say it.
with good experiences, like going to Cancun and being able to afford the trip on your own and making that money at a different age, and you're like, oh my God, it's so accomplished.
I can just make a counter argument
And
and,
be-
say
that-
just as
that
many
was
people
traumatic?
have just as many people as you go through life, you tend to start accruing certain traumas and
Okay,
heartbreaks
so
and
let's
baggage. Do
make it
people? Let me
that.
ask you guys a question. Do people typically get more or less jaded as they get older?
More jaded.
So would they then carry more tension in their body?
Yes.
Perhaps. And question. Here's another question. Do people's posture as they age tend to get better or worse?
Worse.
Okay, so then
But
I can just
that's an
reverse this whole
average.
argument of
Wait, I didn't
over
answer that.
time your
Yeah,
outward physical appearance
We're
is going to
not
get worse
answering that.
because people tend to hold themselves in worse ways, either through being jaded, they carry more tension in their body. That's going to manifest itself in stress. Like you'll see that in people's faces. If they've had a lot of stress in their life, they're going to get wrinkles, hair's
That's
going to go
just
gray, they're
gravity
going to
and,
lose
like,
their hair,
cell
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And it goes the other
And then
way.
people's posture tends to get poorer and poorer and poorer as they get older.
I like what you said about eating healthy, taking care of yourself. Like if you're doing all those type of things, working out, stretching, eating the best, whatever the fuck, that's definitely gonna make a difference. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Am I?
I think that the original conversation of from 24 to 34, you gain a lot of life experience that makes you feel confident on who you are. And that's how you walk through life. You walk more
do you
confident.
think, but like, okay, just in terms of what men find attractive in general, beyond just physical appearance, do you think men care about
I
your
think actually men get
experiences?
scared of women that have that confidence. I think that after 30, it's a lot harder to date because you're confident. And if you're single with no kids,
So you're
it's
saying
different.
women are more off-putting the older they get?
Off-putting.
Well, you said men get scared.
Yeah, they do. They
They're-
get more
they get
intimidated.
scared,
They're like,
right.
I can't afford this girl. You know, at 30 with no kids and living and taking
30
care
with
of.
kids.
But I'm talking about 30 with no kids. There's a difference.
But
There's
you
a
said that
difference.
men are attracted to women's experience.
It's tough out here.
I
women-
didn't say that guys were attracted to experience of women.
It's because like women aren't as
men
when you're
are
younger.
attracted to
You're more like
confidence.
naive. You're
You think
more
men are attracted
easy
to
to
confidence?
manipulate.
Yes.
Men don't care about your confidence at all.
I would say
I could debate
Well, that's
that.
something
That's
new
not
to
they
true.
me.
care about?
That's
They
something
don't
new to me.
care
You like
about-
you think
That's
men like
something
insecure
I
women?
didn't know
Brian,
that. I
Brian,
didn't
what
know
do
that. That's
men
bullshit.
care about?
Usually guys
Brian,
are really attracted to
what
me
do men
because
care
Move your mic to this way. And
Fucking animals.
I feel like I attract guys that have a lot of confidence and just
what
like.
does that have to do with what they're attracted
Well,
to?
I'm saying they're gonna be attracted to somebody else that has a lot of confidence.
I don't see how that follows.
I feel like guys like confidence. They don't want a woman that's gonna bring them down. They don't want a Debbie Downer.
Brian.
Well, hold on. You can have a positive disposition, and you could be like have perhaps a more shy or shy disposition.
That's
Well,
true. And still a bag of baddie.
What about say if you were with a woman, right? And
Yeah.
she, yeah, let's get all the way into the details. And she was like so, like her confidence level was a 0, and she was just constantly like jealous,
Hold on. We're
insecure.
talking
She
about
had
different
trust
things, though.
issues.
We're talking about, okay, so let me ask you a question. If a guy approached you and he was just super confident, no trembling in his voice, eye contact on point, just you could hear it in his voice, his manner of speech, there was no hesitation, just very confident. Whereas if a girl were to step to me in her and she, if she approached me and she was like a little bashful and a little bit shy and her eye contact was, but she wasn't like being creepy, but she was like maybe a little nervous, that wouldn't be, at least from the guy's perspective, a negative mark against her if she's got a little shake in her voice. Whereas if there's a shake in a dude's voice and he steps to you, that's an instant rejection for
No,
most
I think
women.
that's kind of cute sometimes
That's
too.
not
I'm like,
It's an
"Hey,
instant
cute
no.
guy, like, a little
No,
shy."
Not for me. I don't like the
think-
weird, like psychotic, like I'm fucking perfect. I'm amazing at conversations. Hello.
Like
let's
if a
go on
girl's a
date."
little bashful, like a little.
But I think that's.
Okay,
I think what
so-
you're describing is true on both ends.
No, it's not.
Wait, where
I
it's
feel
like,
like-
some men like when they're bad, like you said. I think that's true. And I think on the other end, some men like when women are more attractive. And I think on the other end, women like when men are more attractive. And then sometimes some.
Attractive? You mean confident?
I'm sorry, I'm getting my words messed up already. Like I'm just.
You mean
I've only
do you mean
slept 2
confident?
hours within like
Okay.
24 hours.
I feel like this goes
original
back
question
has
to
their own-
the
What
original
the fuck was
was
my
the
eyes?
original question. As soon as it gets to right here at this part of the table, I lost the whole the original
Good.
question.
I'm glad.
Okay, so I'm going to move it on, but
Jesus.
I will bring up the hypergamy thing in a bit. But going around the table, I think we're going with you. You are 26. Will you be more physically attractive at 36 as
there it
compared to
is.
26?
Okay, I'm gonna say 36, yes, but like higher, no. I'm gonna give you that, and then also
Okay.
I'm gonna make a comment that I think men have like Benjamin Button disease, like they get more attractive to society as they get older, and women get less. So it's like reverse. That's my comment.
They get more attracted to society.
Yeah, men get more attractive
Are more
in
attractive.
society.
Like when you look at it.
Oh, in
overall.
society, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're saying that men age better than women?
No, I'm saying to society. I'm not saying men age better.
Well, I mean,
That's
who
your
is
opinion,
society?
Right.
I'm saying based on society standards,
Yeah, who is society?
We are
the grand census, like, in general.
Yeah, so men and women.
So think
if you're
about
saying that
Ryan
based on society,
Gosling.
men get more attractive with age, then you're saying that men get more attractive with age, right?
I'm saying
It's the
based
metric
on
of most people.
It goes both
society.
ways. It goes both ways. Men and women.
I'm saying based on
Well,
society.
I mean, does it though? That wasn't her claim. Her claim is, she says, okay, based on society, so now we have society. Who is society? Society is all men and women collectively, right? They're looking
Yeah.
through this societal prism. So we can reduce this to societal relativism.
Yeah.
Relative to the society, men are more attractive as they age than women, right?
Yeah.
So wouldn't that dictate that most women find older or men to get more attractive as they age? Wouldn't that logically follow?
Yeah, societally. Yeah.
Well, but societally is a collective group of people, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if that's true, then most people would be thinking this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that happens
So-
through advertisement, through films,
Yeah, there's a
through
bunch of reasons
there's
for it,
like
but I'm
the
just
media.
media
If we didn't have films, most older men in their 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s wouldn't think that they need to be with a woman 35 years younger than them. But it's
Really?
accepted. Yeah, we can go on this whole tangent, but if you
Let's
look
go
at
on this whole
films-
tangent. This
no,
is a
if you
rabbit
look at
hole I just
films,
enjoy going down,
women,
but it's up to
older
Brian.
women
It's
that
up to you,
date
man.
younger men are given stigmas and names, but it's widely accepted through films and the way society acts
This is actually-
that an older
I got
man
it. Okay.
can date someone 20, 30 years younger than them.
Actually-
and it's okay.
Well, let us
Actually-
find
Ryan
out.
Gosling.
Let us hang on. I think that that's a fair point. Let us test if it's true. I have just in my memory a grouping of movies where an older woman is sleeping with a younger man, and that's considered to be based and awesome and in every way just fine. One that comes to mind, for instance, is American Pie with Stifler's mom. Right? This was a movie that was widely distributed. So my question is, let's go one for one. Can you name the movie where that's socially acceptable the other way for a man?
Probably all the movies that were made in the 50s.
Yeah, no,
and
just
60s.
name one.
Okay, so let's see. The one with Cary Grant, and then he was with.
In the 1950s?
No, wait. Let me just go. Like
No, in
with
modernity. What are the modern
Roman
movies which are
Holiday.
showing this?
Like you see Cary Grant with someone who's 20, 30 years younger than him.
The
And
70-year-old
modern-
geriatric dudes are not going to count as far as societal norms now. So like in
But-
modernity,
Actually, if you watch any films, especially with female directors, they talk about this subject a lot, that it's okay, it's taboo for an older woman to date a younger man. And
Good.
she
Then
gets-
name the
she gets
movie in
beat-
Modernity
She gets
where
beat up
where it's the older
verbally.
man with the younger woman, and that is considered, that is pushed and promoted as being a good thing. Name one.
Twilight.
No, not you.
But
Name one.
out.
of
And by the way, the reason Twilight doesn't count is because Edward physically stays the same age
But it was
forever.
funny.
So that doesn't even count. So back away from that. And then, by the way, that movie had bestiality. No shock to me that the tree lover loves it. But back over to this, where I was before I was so rudely interrupted. Can you name a movie of modernity where it's promoted for men to have an age gap relationship, and that's promoted as a good thing?
Isn't Pretty Woman like all about
Not you, not you, not you. The woman I'm talking
Please,
to
just
who's
kindly
not
answer the
you.
question. Just answer the question kindly.
I'm just thinking, well, there was a movie that was recent that Anne Hathaway was in when she's older than the man.
Oh, I know that movie.
And then she got completely beat up about it verbally, society. Her child was, teased.
Yeah, what's it called?
I forgot what that movie was.
You would think that
It's
if
Only
these things
Me.
were so, you
Or
would
It's
think that
Only
if
Me.
societally it was so prevalent that age gap relationships were looked at as being okay for men to go after younger women, that you would have a slew of examples that you can give me.
What about
And I haven't
Seinfeld?
actually heard you give me one example of where that's promoted as being a good thing in a movie.
All you have to do is look at what Hugh Hefner created, and then I met him years ago, and it was
That does not
normal.
surprise me.
But it was normal for an older man to be with someone 20, 30 years, and it's in lots of
Before
movies.
we
It's just,
move
I'm
over
not
to the diatribe, which I'm happy to listen to and engage with, can you name a movie of modernity, even the last 20 years, where the age gap relationship is promoted as being a good thing, where the man is older than the woman? Just one. I'm just looking for one.
All of James Bond's movies. pretty
All
much.
of James Bond's
Like
movies?
the last
No.
ones
Most
with
of,
Daniel.
okay, name the
no,
one
with
where he's in the
Daniel
age gap
Craig.
relationship.
Wait. The Daniel Craig movies of the last three he was in, the woman was in their 20s, and he's in his 60s, going into the 70s. So that's a 40-year gap.
Wait, what movie is this?
Daniel Craig was in 3 James Bond films,
Uh-huh.
and he's late 60s, and his star is in their 20s.
Yeah, but you realize that you can act when you're acting. You can still act as though you're the same age as the person who's far younger than you. These are not, James Bond movies are not presented as James Bond is way older than the women that he ends up with. Those are never presented that way. They're presented as being in some way equal in age or
Accepted.
sophistication, always.
But I'm just saying that it's a society thing, that it's okay for an older man to be with a 20, 30, 40-year gap woman.
It actually,
But
so okay, it
when
actually
you're-
Yeah, you keep
isn't. It
asserting
actually
that,
isn't.
but where's the
okay,
evidence
so
for that?
Here's the thing, right, is that you say that, but in actuality, it's actually, there's a huge actual negative pressure sorry, I'm not using the right wording there. For example, you'll have words like cougar for women. It's not clear to me that there's actually any negative stigma towards women who date younger men, whereas older men who date younger women actually get severely pathologized by mass amounts of the population. They conflate men who date women in their, who are, if a man's 40 who's dating a 21-year-old, they're going to call him a P word. So there's actually way more stigma towards men who date younger than the reverse. While it's more common for men to date younger, there's much greater stigma.
Oh.
Yeah,
All right,
I'll give you an
thank you for
example
that.
of this,
What?
and maybe you just don't know how this goes, at least inside the online sphere. But men who date younger women are often called PDF files. They're often called names like this because they're dating a woman who is a legal adult. She's sometimes 22, 23 years old, and he's 40, 45, and they still call him that. That seems like it's a massive social stigma, the opposite direction than what you're talking about.
So I guess it's
Yeah,
happening both ways, but because I'm older.
It's not, though.
No, but
It's
because
not.
I'm older than most of the women here, it's like I see that there is a stigma. If I'm attracted to someone who's younger than me, then I get called those names. So even though I'm not attracted to
Oh
someone
yeah, but
my
what are
age.
the names? What are the names? Cougar?
Cougar
Like, what, I mean,
or like-
what are the derogatory names that you're called?
Yeah, you get called cougar, men get called P words.
Yeah, they get
What's the
called
P
the P word. You get called a
Can't say
cougar.
it.
Like
What?
Can't say it.
You know it.
Okay.
I don't.
Pedo.
it starts.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So like Bill Belichick, is that right? Bill Belichick, he's got that 23